Morning, Brock. Actually, it's afternoon. I was just gonna go over, just show you what I did this morning. Um, so, 9:30 opened here, and first presented fair value gap is right here. This is the May 6th end dog that I had, and these are the quadrants on that. And so there was sell side here, so I went short there, and I had originally had my TP down here at this lower quadrant of this end dog, but I ended up closing it and hit that sell side right there. Um, just because, so I can't, it's probably 60, 50, something like that. I feel it was. Um, and I'm trying to actually only take if I'm going to take two trades in the morning, I try to do it's going to be a first presented fair value gap trade, and then I'm going to close that one, and then I'm going to wait for the silver bullet trade, right? Trying to meld them into two or whatever. So I took it as a win because it was just direct and no resistance. So just two guys that would have clearly it would have got that even down there. My premise was that this orange box is a daily uh, fair value gap. I think it's a BC. Um, it's this one right here. Uh, Knowing that these relative equal lows are right here. Um, and that we were kind of trading down overnight. I just went down to the lowest higher time frame fair value gap, which gave me this BC daily chart, and then also gave me this is not correct. This is a 540. So let's just take these. So from the lower time frame is where the red line end up inside of that fair value gap. And where the sell side is not. Sorry, I have a couple different sell sides marked out. Anyway, so this was the premise. I used this fair value gap, this daily incident, and hit the end dog. So that's where that came from. So anyway, here's the 9:30 open. Sold short in here, took a profit here, and then I got long in this macro right here to don't think I went all the way to the high. Think I I think I closed it. I think I closed it. Just it might have been right in the high for just before it. Uh, so 674 and a half. Bear with me for a second. this is that higher time frame, 15-minute bearish order block that we just outlined. So when I went long there, I think I had it just below at the, or just below this 9:30 open. I had, I think I had my TP at this, the lower quadrant of this, of that 15-minute bearish order block. So that was the, my premise here was, so that was that trade. My premise here was this closed, obviously we had first presented fair value gap closed, this closed below the upper quadrant of that daily end dog. And then there was sell side here. So that was my premise there. And then we weren't quite to 10 o'clock yet. And I was waiting for, there was some higher time frame sell side down here. My entry up here was a little bit later, which there's nothing wrong with it because it was, you know, decent trade. But my point was that I was waiting for this for a trade back up into here. That's why I have this SIBI right here. I was anticipating a run up into this and then taking this low out first before I went long. But since it just kept grinding and got above 50%, I went in this macro fair value gap right here. Obviously it's below the first presented fair value gap, but I had enough that we were, let's see here, we had traded above this swing high, and we had traded above these relative equal highs right there, and above the 50%. So I was like, well, we're at least, there's a high probability that if I go long here, we're going to get out through the fair value gap and not push off of the first presented fair value gap. So that was the premise for going long there to there. And then, so let me take this order block off of here. And then, this is, so these dashed lines is the, what do you call it? The ORG, the opening range gap. That's what those dashed lines are. And then this is, it's June 11th in dollar. So that these quadrants are June 11th end dollar. So, so I think I went short in here, added a bunch of positions, and ended up with my fill down here. In fact, it's okay. So once we failed to reach, well, we barely closed. So this 50% line right here is the opening range gap, 50%. So that's clearly met. And so a couple things. 10 o'clock is down here and basically just traded down just a little bit and then was gone. So it ran up into here and did get 50% of the opening range gap. And then on the 5-minute chart, we started to trade back for one of the lower quadrant of that end dog. And so once this candle closed right here under, so obviously, so this was consolidation. So the low of it was taken, then traded back up to the high to take out the high of the consolidation at a time where it's, I can't remember the time this was, but let's see, it's probably around, yeah, 10:30, 10:45, and with no return back to silver bullet other than that right there, but mainly as far as anything lower than 10 o'clock, which it doesn't necessarily need to, but obviously, you know, it's ran up in here into a significant premium after taking out sell side. So as it started to roll over, I waited for once both sides of this consolidation had been taken, this one, and then Cibby there, and then this closed below outside again of the end dog. Then I sold short up in here and then added some positions. And I had this buy limit here, which was hit. And then the remaining four going to be down here. But then it came down, got below consequent encroachment. So the remaining four, I just started taking them off one by one as it kind of stalled out in here. I think if you go back and look, let's see, let's close this, go back to here, here. Yeah, so it was right in here that I had it. So I just started, once this low was made and then traded back up, once this low was made and then traded back up, I took one, I sold one right there. No, I can take that back. Once this traded down just below that, I sold one there, sold another one there, or bought one there, bought another one there, bought another one there. And honestly, I don't even know if any one of these candles would have actually filled that limit order for those final four. So, anyway, so that was kind of what I did this morning. So, rather than kind of go through and make a video of what I based it on and what I learned or whatever, I figured I'd just show you what I did. And then if you've got questions as far as where did I get that from or where did I get this from or whatever, you can, you can give me a holla. So, we'll chat at you later.